Hello everyone and welcome to the Story Must Tells, and this is the Folklore Realms LARP. Now hopefully you've had an email by now which will be explaining about the rules for the upcoming and forthcoming role-playing sessions, a live action or live acting role-playing game. Now, you can see here, you should hopefully have the PDF of this. It is a work in progress, so there are a few things that we might be changing as we're playing. But for the moment, it gives you something to sink your teeth into. I'll quickly run about how to create your characters. Now, we do really want people to dress up for this time. Don't forget, it's the 18th century. So try and keep away. Obviously, you're going to have some boots and things like that, and obviously wet weather gear underneath, possibly your costumes, and make sure you're nice and toasty. But cloaks are very cool, and various other things. Think about Pirates of the Caribbean, that kind of period, grim fairy tales. Generally, cloaks are quite good, and jerkins, that kind of thing. Don't go overboard. You can start with making something or picking things up from charity shops, leather bits, leather scraps that you can sew together. Hey, I guess you guys are going to be amazing at this. Anyway, right, so we have various other characters you can be. So you choose a class, and your class can be anything from a wizard. You also have a wise one, rogue, which encompasses thieves, pirates, those kind of things, rangers, and monk. Now, you notice we have skills here as well. Now, you get one skill for every adventure that you've done with us with the same character. So, to start with, you all have either one or two, depending whether you've been on two of our quests or one. They only count at Hilton Court at the moment. They don't count if you've done one at Kieru Castle. That's a slightly different system. So you can choose under whatever class you choose, one or two, depending on what you've done, skills. Now, these skills are stackable, but they can be used once only in an adventure. Now, when I say stackable, so if you have 2 skill points for 2 adventures that you've done, you can buy 2 in potion brewing if you want, and then you'd be like a level 2 potion brewer. Or you can choose maybe potion brewing and talk to animal, for instance. And again, you can do one of those each. Or if you want to do maybe something like a fire ice ball, you bought that twice. You can fire 2 in an adventure. Now, combat is going to be very kind of low in this, so we don't really encourage it, but things may happen where you've got to draw a knife or get hurt in some way. So it's very simple to play. Basically, everyone has 1 point per location. That's head, body, arms, legs. If it goes to 0, you can't use that location. If it's your body or your head, you have 10 minutes to get it healed. Well, someone has to heal you, otherwise you'll be dead. You have 30 minutes if it's an arm or a leg. Meanwhile, you can't use that. You might hop around or get a walking stick or something like that. So, as I said, if you're using combat, we're going to be very carefully structuring that. We only allow coreless foam rubber weapons, latex weapons, foam latex weapons. I have put a link on there. LARP Inn do sell those. They're very reasonable, about £9, and they're really cool and dinky and very cool. Because at that time, that period, people weren't wandering around with swords, willy-nilly. In fact, very few people had swords. The military did, but common folk like yourselves didn't. Maybe useful items like things for skinning and cutting your food or chopping wood you would have, which you could use in combat. We're all about the magic and the cunning and the craft in this game. So I have all on here information about where magic comes from, areas that you might know, and also whatever information we have here. A map, of course, there's a map at the very beginning. So have a little look at that. Also got the calls that you may hear during the game: time in, time freeze, time out. And there we go, you've got the map at the very beginning there. Now when it says on your character sheet home, we want to have your home that you live somewhere on this map. Okay, so in Threatlord Town, Weirding Wood, there's various other locations. You might be way off up in the north there. You might notice it actually has a passing resemblance to Pembrokeshire. So, which is kind of cool. What else we got? Okay, at the very bottom you have a character sheet. Now, ideally, what I'd like you to do, if you can, please fill this in and send it to me prior to the adventure. So you have name here, that would be your character name, and then the class. So you might be, let's say, you're Cedric the Wizard. The player name, that's your own name, so I know who I'm talking about. And then you've got skills here. So obviously you can fill that in over time. A little backstory. So if you have something you want to do, portrait, that's kind of for yourself. If you leave it blank, I might do one for you. And then we have guild. Now again, that's something you might grow over time. So if you're a wizard, you might be associated with the Wizard's Tower. If you're rogue, now you can't join one yet, but you might at some stage join a gang or a guild. And you know, the rangers might be asked to be called a King's Ranger, but again, that's something that will happen over time. Items, you're not going to start off with very much, if anything. If you bring something, if you do happen to get a hunting dagger or a skinning dagger or something like that, again a LARP one, you can start with those things that would be common. If you're a wizard, if you bring like a pestle, a mortar, or a journal or a wand, I'll allow you to have those, but they won't actually have any powers as yet. These things will be collected over time on different adventures, and scrolls and things like that. This is where you can note those things down. Where it says Story Master's Note, that's really for me to add in any notes during the adventure or afterwards. So I remember later on maybe to write it into the next story. Because I want you guys to kind of really feel part of this whole process. Anything else I can add? Nothing really. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Don't forget, it will be dark. There will be limited lighting sources, in-character lighting sources. But do bring a torch just for your own safety, just in case you lose something or you need to find something very quickly. And you can't, you know, you might have a LED candle to utilize that. They're not very effective and also you can hear at the moment I've got rain pouring down, so maybe like a pack of mac or something you can quickly throw over if we do catch ourselves in terrible weather. I am designing this adventure so there'll be undercover areas, not throughout the whole thing. We'll have to get from one point to another, so there's a possibility you might get wet at some stage. Bring sensible boots, if not wellies. Okay, well, I hope that's filled in some of your questions. That obviously are loads of spells here, and this is the first edition. So as we go on, things will develop. There'll be more skills opening up. There'll be certainly more spells opening up and more abilities. I'm very kind of open to your ideas and the way you're role playing them. If you've got something which you kind of want to do and it seems reasonable, have a chat with me, and it may well happen for you, and we'll end up writing in the book as well. Okay, thanks all. Bye for now.